So the theory class, everything should be completed. So we'll start from the beginning. I know you have covered it, but still we will do. Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now, uh, for our engineering graphics and drawing, we are having first the thing that we should know are the drawing instruments that we are going to use. Am I audible? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, for the drawing instrument, I know you have covered it, but still there are some students who have joined late. So in theory class, everything should be covered. So we'll start from the beginning. Now, these instruments are actually the objects which are used during the drawing to have so that the process of drawing becomes easy and we can represent whatever we want to represent accurately. Okay, we can represent accurately. And the accuracy of the drawing actually depends on the quality of the instruments. Okay, the quality of instrument is very important to have a accurate drawing. Now we are having the drawing board. If someone wants to join. We are having the drawing board, and then we are having the T-square, we are having the set square, and we are having the drawing instrument box, that is a geometry box which contains all the other instruments such as set square and all that. And then we are having the scale, the protractor, and we are having the French curve to draw the arcs and other ellipses. Now next we are having our drawing sheet. Okay, and by now you all are aware of the drawing sheet, and we're having our drawing pencils, that is the normal HB pencils that we use, and the eraser and the drawing clamps or the clips that we say, and then we're having the drafter. There is a drafting. The machine which is held for drafting is called the drafter. Now see, this is the drawing board, and there are various sizes of drawing board, and here see, this drawing board actually helps us to clamp the paper on it and draw in a form state. And then you're having the T-square. You see, this is used for drawing the straight lines, and this T-square is actually having two, one is the blade and one is the stalk, and they are fixed at 90 degree. Okay, they are fixed at 90 degree. Why it is called T square? It is called T square because no. Okay, it is called T square because it is in a shape of T. When we are having two of these stalk and blade fixed at 90 degree. And then this is the set square, and one of the set square is having 90 degree and 45 degree, and other one is having 90, 60 and 30 degree. Okay, these are the angles that we can draw easily with the set square. And then we are having your, these are the scales that we use and the protractor. Still students are joining. Okay, now we are having the scale, These scales are basically we are having the scales which are having the dimensions on both the sides, and maybe the unit of dimensions may be different. One side it may be given in centimeter, where millimeter also we can see. We can where millimeter is also defined, and also other side we are having in inches. Now this is a protractor. See over here. And here, everyone is very much familiar with this instrument for measuring the angles. And this is the French curves where we can draw, which is actually used for drawing curves. And here the drawing paper that is of different size. And then we are having a main thing is that our drawing pencil. And this pencil has to be of it should not be of low quality, otherwise we won't have a uniform thickness. Okay, while we are drawing we will not have a uniform thickness while we are drawing any lines or curves or anything. Then we need to fix the paper. The drawing sheet has to be fixed properly on the board, and for fixing it properly, you can see we use these clamps. Okay, we can use this pins also, drawing pins we can use, but once we use these pins, then we are going to actually we are making some kinds of destructions on the paper also, and sometimes if it is not fixed properly and if it moves, then it will tear easily. So usually we use this clamps or clips. Now we are having the instrument which we use for the drafting purpose, and there we are having this is the drafter. And for the first time, now you are started drawing with this instrument that is called the drafter. And this is a drafting machine which is very useful. And here this drafter has many parts, and the drafter is actually clamped on this drawing board. Okay, and then we have this paper which is aligned with this, which is aligned along with the drawing board, and then this the orientation of the drafter is done according to this paper, so that we are having this horizontal scale and this vertical scale. This has to be in orientation with the paper. I think someone wanted to join. Okay, now this drafter has to be clamped on the left side upper corner. Okay, left side upper corner, it has to be clamped. And after putting this drawing sheet, we are going to clamp this drafter. And here we can see the parallel arm bars. You can see this parallel arm bars. There are total 4 number of parallel arm bars over here. Okay. So here we can see that there are 4 numbers of parallel arm bars which are helpful in the purpose of drawing by keeping this scale as per the position. Okay, the scale is kept in position with the help of these parallel arm bars. Now we are having this, the two scales are here at 90 degree with each other. Okay, they are at 90 degree with each other. And once you have set this scale as per the paper, it won't move. Okay, it will remain as it is. Now next, coming to the adjustable protractor head. Here you can see this is a protractor head, and this is the adjustable protractor head over here. And according to the angle we want to put this scale, we can adjust this protractor accordingly. Okay, so that we can set it at the at the defined angle, and we can keep on drawing. Now next we are having different sheets, and you very well know that we are having the drawing sheets, which is where we have to first draw the border. Okay, first we have to draw the border, then after the process of drawing the border, we will then, and you know, while we draw the border, the uh, left hand side border is having more width. Can you say me the border width? What has been told in the class? Tell me border width.
Ma'am,
Can you
left
Left
side
side
30.
30 mm.
yes, and other
Ma'am,
three
left
sides?
side 30
Ma'am, left side 30 mm and other side 20 mm.
Yes. Okay. So left side is always kept a bit more more in width rather than the other three sides. Okay. Then after having our borderline, we are having the title box, which is a very important part of every sheet, and it's a common part in all the sheet. And in title box, what is actually the function of the title box? Here you can see what does here that we use in the lab. This title box is actually used in the lab. Now over here in the first row, we mention the name of the institution is mentioned in the first row, and in the second row, your name. Okay, you write your name, and then there is the title of the drawing, because suppose you are drawing the first drawing, that is lettering, we will write the title of the drawing is lettering. Suppose we are drawing the second sheet, that is dimensioning, we'll write dimensioning over here. Okay, now this is then here to the right side, here in the column we are writing the branch, the civil engineering will write, and semester, first semester we'll write. Okay, and then section you'll write B, and the group as per your group B1 or B2, you're going to mention the group. And over here sheet number, if you're going for lettering, then sheet number 1, dimensioning sheet number 2, projection sheet number 3, like this we go on with the sheet number. And this is the scale. Okay, now scale, as you know, for some of the sheets it will be 1:1 if you're taking as per the actual size. Okay, now after that we'll go for scale. We'll explain, you'll be explained about the scale, but scale over here, it is actually what it is representing. The scale is representing what the actual dimensions are, and what dimension you are applying on the sheet, on the drawing sheet. Okay, now this is your title box that is placed at the lower right corner. Yeah, here you can see it is placed at the lower right corner, and usually it is having the dimension that is your 185 mm is to 65 mm. Okay, this is the dimension of the title box. Okay, you want to ask anything regarding this? I know
Yes, ma'am.
most of you.
No,
Okay, okay. Most of you already have completed, I know. Now we are coming to scales. Scales that are used in engineering drawing. So, finally, what is a scale? A scale actually can be defined as the ratio of the linear dimension of the element of the object as represented in a drawing to the actual dimension of the same element of the object itself, because maybe the object is too small or it may be large, and we cannot show the exact dimension on the paper. So what we are doing, if it is too small we are going to enlarge it. And if it's too big, then we are going to actually reduce it the size, and we are going to show on the paper. So it is the ratio of linear dimension, the element of the object. Okay. Now to the actual dimension. So we are having different types of scales. So first one is your reducing scale. And here you can see it is in the ratio 1:2, or we can have 1:5, and also we can go to 1:5,000 to 1:10,000. Okay, this is the reducing. This is how the scale has been mentioned as a reducing scale. Okay. Now this is, you can see one part, two parts have been shown as one part over here. Now coming to the enlarged scale, still students are joining. Okay. Now coming to the enlarging scale. So what we are doing in enlarging scale? Now this is what is represented in the drawing sheet, and the other one is as the original size. So here if the object, if you're saying that it is quite small to be represented, then we can show it by magnifying it, the dimensions. Now it can be from 50:1 to 2:1. Okay, we can double the size, or it can go for 50:1 also. Okay, it can be 20:1 or 10:1. Now for the full size scales, means the full size scale means the type of scale that you're using in your first drawing. And suppose in the second drawing you're doing, the scale is 1:1. Means whatever is an actual that we are showing in the paper. We are not changing the size. Right? And one, you should remember that we should have a perfect scale on the paper, so that a person who is studying these diagrams can understand the actual dimensions. Okay. To understand the actual dimensions, a proper scale should be mentioned on the drawing sheet. Now the scale actually can be represented at as representative fraction RF. Now what is this RF? Now this is the ratio of the length of the object on drawing to the actual length of the object. Okay, this is the ratio that if you're taking that, for example, when 1 centimeter long line is actually taken as here 1 meter of the object. Okay, it's actually 1 meter, we are taking it as 1 centimeter. Then how much you are going to have? We'll have it as 1:100. Okay, why it is 1:100? Can anybody tell me? Why it is 1:100? Can you define the scale?
Ma'am?
1 meter.
Just repeat. Repeat, you are right. Repeat. Answer kuha. Subilani. Why it is represented? Why 1 centimeter on the line on a drawing is when it is represents 1 meter length in actual. Why it is said as 1:100? Thank you, Ajay. अरे 1 मीटर कितने
Ma'am, for
सेंटीमीटर
dimensional conversion.
है ना? Okay. Now this is how we define a scale. Now we have several types of scales, and it can be a plane scale that you're using, or it can be a vernier scale. You have already seen Earlier, I know everybody has seen a vernier scale where we can take very minute dimensions better than the scale that we are using. Another one is of course the diagonal scale that is not so common, but it is also used for very small measuring very small distance accurately. Now coming to the types of lines. Now we have various types of lines that are used in the drawing purpose, and these lines are we cannot have the single type of line for all types of when you're going to define different things, we have to use different types of lines, such as we can use a continuous thick. You can see over here is a continuous thick, and this is the continuous thin. Then you are having here this is a freehand, continuous thin freehand. This is freehand one, and this is a zigzag straight. Okay, this where we are showing break lines. Okay, usually the break lines are shown by this zigzag and straight. Then we are having this dashed thick. Okay, this is a bit the width is a bit thick. In here the lines a bit thick, and here they're dashed, means in between it's given in intervals. Then you're having the dash thin, and then you're having the chain thin narrow dash dotted. This is usually given for your center lines. You can see one dash and a dot over here. Then you're having a chain thin. You can thick and thin, and this is a chain line, but you can see alternate patterns over here. You're having somewhat thick, then you're having thin, and it goes on in alternate manner. Now next we are having the chain thick over here, that is long dash dotted, and then the double dotted. You can see there are two dots. So basically the reason for using these different types so that we can distinguish between different types of, which may be a boundary line, it may be a chain line, or it may be you can use it as a center line. Okay, to have a demarcation, for the purpose of demarcation, we are using these different kinds of lines. Okay, so next class we will start with our lettering. Okay, yes, CR is there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just take. Actually, I don't have the attendance sheet now. Can you just record the attendance for today?
Yes, ma'am. I will
When
take the
I'll ask you,
screenshot.
you give me. Okay, when I'll ask you, just for today, you take it. For the next class, I'll get it. I'll take the attendance
Okay.
myself. Just take
Yes,
the
ma'am.
attendance. Everybody, please wait for 5 minutes. Let him take the attendance. You can take the attendance, and if possible, you can send me now also through WhatsApp. Okay, you can send me.
Yes, ma'am. Done.
I don't have the attendance sheet now, so I can maintain it. Okay, so thank you everyone. So next class we'll again have and proceed with the lettering part theory. Okay, you can
Thank you,
leave
ma'am.
now.
Thank you, ma'am.
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 Thank you, ma'am.